You see all them bees on the camellias?
Trying to.
I would think that that's where they're bringing some of that pollen in from, huh?
Most likely. Oh, those camellias are just loaded with pollen.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at that.
And they're lasting a long time.
Yeah, because usually they're done by end of December.
I mean, look at the pollen on there. That is neat. Okay, you're gonna want to walk up this way, and I got all the hives in the back. There you go.
Too bad.
All right.
Hello, Mr. Ed here, the bee wrangler. What's your name?
Margaret.
Mark Ed.
Good time, Charlie.
What are you doing? Oh,
Get stung.
We had one casualty. One casualty. She's on the run.
I told you I didn't like this.
hey, she's just like Charlie. She hates bees.
That's right. I hate beekeeping.
Well, today, once Margaret comes back, if she comes back, she'll probably be wearing her suit at that time.
Yeah.
We are going to.
Did you see that?
They're getting fired up.
They're
Thanks,
getting
Margaret.
fired up. We're right in their flight path. That's the problem.
All right. Margaret started it. Take that off. Take
What?
that off.
The whole suit?
No, just your veil.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We talking. This is a retake.
I don't want
Since
to get
we got-
stung again.
Again.
Twice this morning. Okay.
You ready?
We ready.
We're ready. We're ready.
Hello, Mr. Red. We got the Wranglet.
And good time, Charlie.
What's your name, Wranglet?
Margaret.
Well, you got to say that.
Princess Margaret.
Princess Margaret and Good Time Charlie. And we are over in Princess Margaret, the Wranglet, her bee yard, her right behind her house. And what we're doing here today, well, you want to tell us what we're doing today?
No, I want you to explain to them what we're doing today.
So Margaret, her friend Jan, when we were up in, all right, let's back up a little bit more. So a couple of weeks ago, Margaret, Charlie, and I went up to Jan's old property up in Poplarville, and we took out the bees that were in the long hive, the top bar hive that nobody had messed with for 14 years, right?
Right.
All right, so we took that one out. Prior to us going up there, Princess Margaret and her loving husband, Prince Larry, Prince Larry,
Sorry, I said it.
they had gone up there, and they had removed this hive, and this hive. And exactly the way you see it, with all those supers stacked on them. I don't know how they moved that stuff. It was a miracle they moved them like that. But brute strength, she says. So today, now these are 8-frame boxes. So today, we are going to go through these boxes, reduce them back to 2 supers for brood boxes, and then take off the honey supers. If there's honey in them, the bees will get it. I don't know. We haven't figured that part out. I guess we're going to figure that out as we go. Apparently, at least one is a dead out, and possibly 2 of them are dead outs, and one of them has just a little bit of activity in it. Now, the hive at the very end down there, that is the hive that we took out, the top bar hive. And after we go through these 3 boxes, getting them reduced, find out what's in there, then Charlie and I were going to open up that box, and we're going to show you how the bees are adapting to their new environment, as well as how far along they are. And judging from the activity on that hive, and they are just coming in with pollen, coming and going, I mean, really tremendous amount. The hive next to it has got some activity and very little, if nothing, behind this one. and I haven't seen anything come out of this one. So by the grace of God, we're going to go through all this stuff in the next couple hours and find out what situations Princess Margaret
Thank you.
is in. You got anything to add to that? Is that going to be enough?
I think that's adequate.
Adequate? Are we going to need more?
No, I think we good.
Is-
I think we're ready to go.
Is Prince Larry going to come do any observing?
No, because Prince Larry does not have a good reputation with these girls.
Okay, well, we're going to go in
Yeah.
and open up these boxes and see what we got inside of them. You ready?
All right, we're ready.
All right.
Let's wrangle.
Good.
Yep.
Let me get on this side. Now, I got to tell you, these boxes that Margaret set up, these are her boxes. There's nothing in these things. So the only boxes that possibly have bees on it are this one, and the one next to it. There are these four right here. So we're going to go through, we're going to start with this one right here. And I'm assuming this one is going to be a dead out, because there was nothing coming out of this box at all. And even in this medium, that's a deep. There's nothing in there. And there was no excluder in any of this, so.
Yeah, I think
Oh yeah, there it is. There's one. Yeah. So these were honey supers right here.
was there any honey on that?
No,
other
there's nothing
side?
in it. No. All these are all just empty honey supers.
Yeah, you got it excluded there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's nobody.
Well, this has got honey in it. I see some honey in it, and that was a robber bee that just came out of here. So you can tell that this was robbed out. You see all the cappings were all chewed.
Oh.
So that's all been robbed out. And Charlie, if you shoot inside, you can see the cappings that are
Oh
on
yeah,
the,
you can
on
see it
the
right
frames,
on top of the frames.
on the frames right below it. You can see
Oh, wow.
where the cappings were chewed out. And there's no honey in this. It's all been robbed out. And like I said, now you can see even better the cappings that were chewed, evidence of robbing. And there's a cluster. Let's see if there's anything still alive in it. Our temperature right now is right about 65, Charlie. Is that what it was?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
But this morning, the temperature was, at my house, it was 42. So we're going to see if we had a queen in there. And if so, what's the condition of them? But there's not,
This is amazing.
I mean, I see nectar right here. All right. Well, that little bunch of bees fell off. So they definitely are dead. And then, I see a pile of them on the bottom. Let's see if that one is still alive. No, I think they were all gone.
Yeah, look at all the cappings in the bottom.
And the bees too. Look at
It
it.
definitely got robbed out. Yep.
All right. So this one's a done deal. So we got actually some nice frames, and you got some good frames in here, Margaret, that, you can, it's old, and there's no telling how old this comb is, but it's old, and it's got a little bit of mildew on that, but the bees can clean it up. If it were me, I'd be using these things for swarm trap.
Okay.
Those are nice ones. All right, Charlie, let's move over to this next one. I know we got bees in this one because these are the ones that came out and attacked us earlier. So we may find some honey in this one. Now there's no excluder in this box, in this hive. That was an awesome looking frame right there. That one's not drawn out. We can pick through those things and get you some nice frames. That comb is pretty new.
Well, look what we found.
And look at that, we got a cluster of bees, and unfortunately, it's in a medium. So I'm going to just set this box right on top of the other one. Hopefully, well, there'll probably be bees underneath this one as well. Let's find out.
Yeah, these are going to go in the attack
Yeah,
mode.
there you go. So there's the next one. There's plenty. So let me get some smoke. Look at that, Charlie.
Yeah.
I just don't like bees brood box to be a medium. It's just not enough room. So I think what I'm gonna do, Charlie, is we are going to, if there's brood on these frames, we are going to put those frames into a deep box and try to get them down. So let's find out what we're going to do with this. I'm going to go through these frames, and we've set up a 10 frame deep right next to it. And these girls are eating right here. We're gonna dump this stuff in. And you can see the butts showing, so they're hungry. They are definitely hungry. All right, so we got them out, but I don't know if those bees are what their condition is. I know it's hungry. I know that condition is right. These bees that I'm knocking in, they're going to crawl back on the frames that I put in here. In fact, we're going to put a deep frame in here. Let them crawl back up. So I'm looking for brood or nectar, and if I don't see it, I'm bouncing the bees, because they don't need to be there. And you can see for yourself, there is nothing on that frame. Nothing, except a hive beetle. Margaret might have to feed these girls, but we're going to see. There's other frames below it, so those may have honey in them. In which case, we'll put those in there.
And one wax moth.
I didn't see that.
I saw him.
It was a moth?
Yep,
Yeah, I saw him too.
A little one or a big one?
that little one.
All right, hopefully we're going to find some honey in this stuff. Margaret, you going to get ready to make some sugar water for these girls? Because they're going to need it.
Yes. And when I've done that in the past, I'd put an empty box on
Yep.
top and put
That's a
it.
good way to do it. That's how I do it. I mean, there are no stores in this stuff whatsoever. But there's no brood either. This is definitely a frame that doesn't need to be in here. See how it's built off of the...
Yeah, what causes him to do that?
Because there's no wax on the foundation, and so then they build the comb off of the foundation. Let's see what we can do. Oh, there's the queen.
Yep.
Yep.
See her right there. Big queen too.
Big old black one,
Yep.
like a Russian.
She's pretty.
Yeah, so I'm looking to see if I got brood on this frame. We're gonna, just in case, since that's the frame I found her on, I'm gonna keep this one in here for right now. I don't like it because it's got that wacky comb on it. So we're gonna keep that frame in there for right now.
Did you say she's bigger than usual?
No, this is normal to me. And since we know our queen was right there, I'm just gonna bounce these bees right into it. I mean, that's just terrible comb to have in your box.
Yep.
It's just terrible. All right, now we're in a deep right here. So if we got any good stuff in here, but I don't feel any weight to this. So we're gonna drop some of these deep frames into that box, and then we're just gonna set that box right back on top of here. And now Margaret's gonna have a job to getting these bees some food.
I'm on it.
All right, we're gonna drop this frame in there. Look at that, some honey.
Yeah.
Found some?
You see it right there?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Very
Look
little.
good.
No. That's all that's left.
Oh man.
All right. So now, Margaret, we're going to take this bottom board and we're going to put it on here. Do these stands separate out?
Okay.
frame in there. Now what I did, we left that medium frame that our queen was on, and I purposefully left all this bridge comb on it to mark it as the one that needs to come out and be replaced. What we're doing is just preparing for Margaret to be able to feed these bees, and we put their inner cover on top of the bees with the hole in it right here, where all she has to do is come inside and take her jar of sugar water, boom, set it right on top of that and start feeding these bees. So this one is done. One down, one more to go. And this one has an excluder in it, so if there is honey up here, maybe we'll be lucky enough to get some of this honey and put it inside of this box. We'll see. And let the bees not have to put a feeder on it, and just let the bees come up there. But we'll see. We'll find out what's inside of here. And the first thing I see that's inside of there, Charles,
Is roaches and lizards.
two big old cockroaches and a ginkgo.
Oh, you had a gecko
A
in there?
ginkgo and two big old cockroaches. Let's get rid of the cockroach. 'Cause we don't like them, do we, Charlie?
No, I don't.
Okay, do me a favor.
What's
Throw,
that?
throw that geeko, got whatever, way over there.
What?
He needs to go.
He needs to go.
Yes, but not about me.
There you go. He's way over there.
Thank
now.
you, darling.
She handled bees, but she won't handle a ginkgo. So these are deeps, and they're in pretty good shape. So, well, some
That's
of
some
them
good
are.
comb.
Yeah, this one's not so good. There's hardly anything. I guess we just got to look at
We got bees in there.
what's there. Yeah, well, there's bees in this hive. that's
You better
for sure.
smoke it a little bit.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll find out. But it's got a little bit of honey in here as well, because I feel some weight to it. All right, so this is the same situation. I'm going to be bouncing the bees into the box, knocking them off of the frames, and assessing the frames to see if there's stores on them. And the whole reason we're doing this is we don't want 8-frame bee boxes anymore. She wants to go to all 10-frame, and I don't blame her. I like 10-frame myself. That's 20% addition by having 10 frames as opposed to 8. So you got capped honey and beetles. See all the beetles up there? We're going to hold off on bouncing this one for right now. I don't want to get those beetles in there. And that's what you're typically going to find. The beetles are going to be up on the top of their box because the bees are going to push them up there. Again, capped honey. And what I'm thinking right now is we're going to try to get all the bees down into one deep super, and then put the excluder on it, and then any of these frames with honey, they can then come up and start feeding on that, and the queen can't get up in there. So at least they'll have food, and the queen will have a place to lay eggs as well. If it's nectar or capped honey, I'm putting it in one pile. If it's an empty frame, it'll go into another pile. We got our excluder. I'm going to pull this off right now. That's a lot of honey in this one. I'm gonna just leave this one in here right now, but that would be like one of those frames that we're gonna put above our deep so that the bees can come up and feed on it. Another heavy one. And look at all the nectar that they're bringing in.
Yeah.
So you know there's nectar flowing. Here we are, what's the February the 6th today? In fact, look at that. There's some cap brood right there and new brood right there as well.
Yep.
Right here.
Wow.
So I got to start looking for our queen too.
We have a queen.
We got more brood.
Yep, more brood. I'm looking. I can't see here. Oh, lots of. There's actually eggs in there. I can see eggs up in this part, right in here,
Really?
right up in the top. So
yeah.
I know she was here very recently.
Maybe the pollen.
So these frames that have brood on them, there's nothing I can do. We're gonna have to leave these frames in that hive to let them hatch out. And then the ones that have honey, they need to be in there so that they can feed everybody.
Is that one heavy?
Oh, it's all full. Look at all the nectar that's in it.
Wow.
Look, she's laying eggs. I mean, she's laying brood. Look at that uncapped brood right there.
Wow.
Uncapped, capped. I can't see the real good in here. There's really small larvae right up in here. Hopefully she hasn't gone over into this frame to start laying. Man, they're full. These are very heavy with honey. Nectar and honey.
Wow.
Let's see here. As long as there's no brood in there, I don't mind shaking the bees off of it. Look, this one's even got all that pollen in it as well. If there's brood in there, we're not going to shake the bees off of it. And before I shake the bees, I'm looking for our queen. These are, it's unbelievable how much nectar is in this box.
Right.
So what's interesting is that any of these bees that are flying up, you wonder where they're going. And if you look right over here, this is where they're going. They're going right back to the entrance, which is why we're going to put our box right back here. So it doesn't matter if the bees are in the air, at least when they come back, they're going to land on their box where they were before. All right, so we got another medium to go through, and I'm pretty confident that this medium is going to have a lot of honey in it as well. So I'm going to push these. Now I can see there's brood, uncapped brood right up here that they laid in the bridge comb. So I'm going to push these bees down and scrape this stuff off, and we're going to go through that one. No brood, but nectar. Look how it glistens. We got brood on this one. I can't shake the bees off of this one. Too much brood. See the brood? Look at the brood on this one. Oh my goodness. Look on this side.
Wow.
That queen might be around here, huh? It's not, there's some new stuff. Oh, she's got to be close. Yeah, that's what I call a pattern. You can definitely see a pattern in that.
She looks like a good queen.
She got a lot of daughters, that's for sure. Look at all the brood right there. Goodness sakes.
She's got to be on one of these frames.
Yeah, I might be pushing her down, Charlie.
That could be.
Yeah, pulling them, but she might be running down. Healthy bees here. If we're fortunate enough to find our queen, all we have to do is put an excluder, keep her in the bottom, put an excluder, let all that brood hatch, and then we can pull that out. We can pull that box off of mediums. So it's really, for right now, it really is kind of important that we do find and catch our queen and keep her caged up so that we can put her in the bottom of this box. That's what the plan is. There she is. How come y'all didn't tell me she was right there?
Oh, there she is.
All right, so let's gonna put her in a cage.
Big girl.
Thank you, Jesus, for that. Boy, that's huge.
Yeah.
Because this is really going to help us out. All right. So
Excellent.
we're gonna take all these bees that are in this box, and we're gonna set it on top of our deep super, put an excluder between the deep and this one, let all this brood hatch out, let our queen start laying in the bottom. And they still can utilize the food that's up in there. And that way we get all of our brood to hatch out, even the brood that's in these frames down here, because it's 8 frames down there, and we still can add a few more. So that's very good. I'm just going to store this way. So all we have to do is now move this it's in a deep frame. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to transfer all these frames from this deep frame into a medium super, and then move it back onto the. What I want to do is I want to put my 10 frame deep in this spot right here, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I won't even knock these bees off. Since our queen is right there, we're just going to transfer these frames and everything into a 10 frame box. And if we got some nasty frames, we'll get rid of those. But we're going to do all that right here. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to, because we need our bottom board, we're going to take this box that only has mediums in it, and all these frames have brood and honey on them. We're going to set that aside, set up our stand, and then start transferring the frames that are in this box into another 10 frame deep soup. The frames are out of the 8 frame box, and I moved them over into the 10 frame, and then on the 3 center frames of the 10 frame, I put some pretty good drawn comb in here already, and I put them in the middle because generally that's where our queen's going to want to start laying anyway. So we've got this box set up. This one is empty, so now I'm going to go ahead and move this box, move it out, and then slide this one back in its spot so that the orientation of the bees will be right on the same spot. Now our hive is exactly where the old hive was. Any of these bees that are flying around right here, hopefully they're going to come back to this one. I see them, some of them are drifting over to the other box. It's all right. Wherever they wind up, that'll be fine. But the main thing is that we've got their box situated now very good. So we're waiting to see if we can find a deep frame medium to put on top of this, and once we get that located, we're going to turn our queen loose inside of this box and then put our excluder on top of it, and then we're going to put our other box of mediums on top of this for their food. Now that this box is set up, we can now put our excluder, we can take our excluder, well, before we put our excluder on, we're going to turn our queen loose. That's the first thing we're going to do. So we're going to turn her loose into this box on those frames that have got, Charlie, you going to catch this queen coming out? There she is. They won't let her come out. There she might come out right now. She don't want to come out. All right, she's coming out maybe. There she goes. There she is on top of the frame. And down below she goes, which is all we need her to do. So now that she's in the box secure, we're going to make sure she stays down there. And we're going to put this excluder on top of it. Now we're going to grab this box that has the brood in it and honey and pollen and everything. And unfortunately, it's a deep. So Margaret, that's Princess Margaret, is going to have to get 2 medium supers, and she's going to transfer these frames, this one, and then we're going to put some more in there, into the supers that she's going to get. So we're just going to move this box with all its content and set it on our excluder. Now remember, this is a deep. These are medium frames in here, so they're only coming down to this far. If she does not transfer these frames into a medium box, they will build the comb underneath these frames and fill up the space. We don't want that. We don't want the bees to be wasting those resources of wax and the honey to produce the wax on that. We want them to go into production of comb, new comb that they can use. So it's of importance that she does this as quickly as she can, but at the same time keeping our excluder in there, allowing the brood that's in this box right here to hatch out and then move through. So now we're going to add another deep, because that's all we have, and we're going to start putting some of these frames, 10 frames of this honey in there. Got this box all straightened out. Other than its wrong box for the frames, it's perfect. She said she's going to go to the Tractor Supply house and get 2 mediums when we leave, and then she'll come back and transfer these frames herself today, because I think it's better to do it as fast as she can, and that way this box will be right. So then all she's really going to have to wind up doing is putting sugar water on these bees right here. So now this box is complete, and we only have one more thing to do, Charlie, and that's to do a evaluation of the top bar hive. Right. When we were out at the farm out in Picayune removing the top bar hive, and what we were doing, we were just cutting the comb off of the top bars and rubber banding it and keeping the bees on the brood, because there was a lot of brood, and we were just framing it up and dropping it in the box, and we filled 10 frames in this bottom. Now we also had a lot of honey, and what we did, we came back to Princess Margaret's home here, and we then cut out all that honey and then framed it up as well. So we filled the top of this deep too. So I'm going to show you what we did up here. And this is the first time we've looked at this since we set this hive up. And Charlie, I'm show you how we did it. So you can see our rubber bands, how we did this. That we simply took the comb that was on the top bar and rubber banded it into a frame. And when we put these in, these were all full of honey. So they're pretty light. This one is pretty light. But I'm gonna find out what the other ones look like as well. We'll set these out here and take a couple of the frames out, and then you can see better. Now, see, this one's got a lot of honey still on it. This one's got weight to it. That's one of the reasons this hive has done so well since we moved it, is because we gave them all of their stores. We gave them all back to them. It was dry enough we didn't have to worry about honey dripping all over everything. And these bees are the number of bees in this hive, because I'm looking at the ones in the box below. Again, you see all the honey that's on here? I'm looking to see if our queen got up here and started laying, but I'm hoping she just stayed down below. Well, as these frames were so full of honey, I doubt that she had any room up here to come up here and lay. Look at that. Look how calm these bees are. These bees were calm when we took them out of that box. These are great bees right here. Actually, all of these hives are really great bees. Look at this. Look how calm those bees are. And then we didn't put any smoke on this. And you can see how the bees used wax and attached the frames to the comb to the frame.
So will I ever take the rubber bands off?
I would take these rubber bands off.
Now?
I'm
Not
afraid
right
to
now.
do it now. I don't
No,
see
you've
like
got too
that one
many of
would have
them that are
fallen.
loose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so not
not-
all of them are attached. Like this one's not
Yeah.
attached. And I've done it on video too many times, twice, that I've taken the rubber bands off and the comb fall. And I don't want to do that a third time. But some of them, there would be fine. Charlie, I should have showed you the inside of that. Let me see the inside. Look at the bees on the inside of this box. Look at that cluster of bees. That's covering 7, 8 frames easily.
Easily. Yep.
So we're not gonna go any deeper into that box. I don't want to search for the queen because I don't want anything to happen to her. But my goodness, these bees are doing fantastic. And like I said, this was the cutout from the long hive or the horizontal hive or top bar hive that we did in Mississippi. All right, we're going to close this up and the video as well. All right, so Margaret, what did you learn today? Wear your bee suit when you're getting working with bees, right?
Yes, yes. Before you get to your hives, put your bee suit on.
Oh, it started out exciting.
I know. We all got stung. And I learned that I really overestimated in my mind how much honey was in those hives. And we lost that one hive, and I feel really bad about that because
Well, I certainly hope you feel bad about that.
I do. I do. But what's going to make me feel better is when you come back to clean up all this mess.
Yeah, so Charlie just kept throwing this stuff around, but it's like, what are you doing? But anyway, we got all the boxes, everything worked out. Princess Margaret's still got to do the job with transferring the comb, those medium frames into a medium frame box. And our top bar high, that thing looks awesome. It looks really, really good. So all in all, it's a good day.
Very
I
good
think.
day.
What about you, Charlie?
I thought it was great. It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, only one bee sting. It was a good day.
Oh, that's right. I only had one bee sting, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, good.
So
That's it then, huh?
What's that?
What are we going to say?
Well, we're going to say thanks for watching.
And what are you going to say, Margaret?
Keep on watching.
You want to do that again?
Keep on
We're going
watching.
to start again. So, Charlie, what
All
you got to say?
right. Thanks for watching.
Keep on watching.
And we'll be making more. God bless. It's Mr. Ed.
Margaret?
No, Princess Margaret
sorry.
Wrangler.
Had a good time, Charlie.
We're out until next video. God bless everybody.
Bye.
Thank
God
you.
bless.